Right now, the whole of northeastern province is cut off because of the rains. Because the road from Garissa to Nairobi to Garissa has been washed away. Our own Deputy President saying that let the county governments deal with the floods. Floods for our Kenyan brothers and sisters who live in those regions. We go and develop. Right now, the whole of northeastern province is cut off because of the rains. Because we only had one tarmac road of 100 miles, and that's it. And even that one now is already, I mean, it's broken down. Part of it, section of it has been washed away at all. And people in Garissa can't get food now because the road from Garissa to Nairobi to Garissa has been washed away. A big section has been washed away. And the rest of the country is out there now. And I had people, none other than our own Deputy President saying that let the county governments deal with the floods. Floods, for God's sake. When these things happen, typhoons and hurricanes and floods and El Nino happens in the States, it's not left to California to deal with it, or Texas to deal with it, or Florida to deal with it. And the economy of Florida is probably 20 times the economy of Kenya. The FEMA comes in, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is from Washington, D.C., is the one which goes in there. There's nothing these governors who have got a paltry sum of money, and 80% or 70% of this going into what do you call recurrent expenditure can do in terms of mitigating the effects of these floods right now we have and the El Nino we have now. The central government must walk in straight there with everything, all its assets, take food to the people, take the helicopters, mobilize the military, call it what do you call a national disaster, and then call for the international community to come and assist us. You wonder sometimes whether the leadership in this place considers all Kenyans to be Kenyans who should be treated equally, and we should do everything that needs to be done for them. I say, Mr. Speaker, all the coastal boys who go and join Al-Shabaab because of grievances, because they have failed. The government has not taken care of them. The government has not taken care of them. They don't have land. They don't have what you call investments of the government in there. They're a mainstay of economic sector. The way all the other, the tea sector was promoted by the government, the coffee sector, the petroleum sector, the flower sector, all that the government put in massive. You people are young people. I remember myself going through school, how much money used to be put into it. I remember one time we pushed ourselves for the cancellation of the coffee debt, and we ended up getting 5.3 billion Kenya shillings being written off to support our farmers. I am still a member of the coffee and tea, what they call efforts in here, or the coffee caucus in here. And we want to give the right prices to our own coffee farmers and develop the coffee sector. For God's sake, let us also go and develop the people of the coast, the marine sector, and let us start right now. This is a very small thing. This bill is asking for the list. But we need to do much more than that, beyond that. For us to be able to go back into I was 7 years old when we got independence. I'm now almost 70. Now, do you want to have this cycle like this when Kenyans feel aggrieved and such? There is no nationhood like Tanzania has. Can I have 2 more minutes?
2 more minutes to Honorable Farah.
You go to Tanzania. It's a nation. You don't ask them what tribe you are. You don't ask them. They feel for one another. The one in the north, the one in the south, the one in the west, they feel for one another. They have a single identity. Because the founding father, or what you will say, the first president of the country, Nyerere, pushed hardest for that. You understand where Nyerere came from. Nyerere is the Zanaki, is a sub-tribe of the Kuria. They're hardly what, 100,000, less than 100,000 in numbers. Mkapa is a subsection of what do you call the Makonde. They hardly 200,000. Kikwete, his community is less than 15,000, basically in Bagamoyo. And by the way, for your information, right now the deputy chair of the CCM is a Somali. And the president of CCM is a Zanzibari Munguja. Can we do that? Do you expect any day a Kuria will become a president in our country in the manner we are now dealing with things? No. No. We have to build a nation We have to create a nation by making sure that we feel for every Kenyan wherever they are. I don't have to feel more for a Somali. I have to feel exactly the way I feel. I go to Meru, and those are my brothers and sisters. I will go to Kiambu, I will go to Lodwar, I will go to what you call Kisumu, and that is why we need to have a nation so that we care for one another. But when you say, those ones wachana na hawa, those ones like this, and everybody has got a label. We go for elections, and then it becomes alliances of tribes. It's not an ideological situation. How many big tribes can you bring together? How much coalition can you create? A winning coalition of tribes, not ideology, not a future, nothing, of tribes and regions and the rest. And that's how we transact our politics in here. And eventually go there and say we're shareholders in that. Too sad. Too sad. So let us deal with this as a beginning, but I'm looking at it. I'm sure many of you will, it's a pity that the House is not that big now. I mean, we don't have so many members of parliament, but we need to focus on the marine resources of our country. 80 is going into till